What is your company's customer per acquisition cost? Does it even matter? Do you even know your numbers? And that is what we're going to be covering here today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day. My name is Mark. You're with Home Leads, and together we work and serve hundreds of companies all over the United States looking to grow their business online. With that being said, let's jump in to the customer acquisition cost and why that's a fancy term that you do need to know about. Before we get started, if you find any value in this, please leave a comment below. Let us know what your customer acquisition cost is. And if you'd like to share the video, we greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. We have a lot of fun on this channel. With that being said, welcome, welcome, welcome. So for those folks who are new to this terminology, let's review what customer acquisition cost is and why it's important for you as a business owner to really understand that number, to really understand how to bring that number down to the ground, as they would say. So a customer acquisition cost is essentially going to be how much does it cost for you to bring a customer in? What is that number? Now, in order to calculate that, we see business owners not have a real good idea of exactly what needs to be added into that total number in order to get to what it costs to bring on a customer. So if you think about it, your customer acquisition cost is going to be all of the wages, all of the expenses, all of the marketing, all of the fuel charges, everything that has to do with your business. Now you take that as a top line item, all of your expenses. You then divide that by how many customers you currently have. And that'll give you a really good idea of exactly how much it does cost to acquire a customer. One of the reasons why this is so important, folks, is because when you're looking at adding anything to your business, whether it's a marketing push, an online presence, whatever it is, you have got to decide if adding that expense into your business is a good usage of your money. Because if you don't understand on the front end how much it costs to get a customer into your business, then how in the heck are you ever going to understand if your new effort is worth anything? The key to that answer is not. Now, I know we're all small business owners here. I know some of us got into being a business owner simply because you didn't like to work for somebody. Other folks got into it because they had a trade or a skill, and they figured, well, if I was already doing this, then I could just go ahead and just do it on my own. I understand that. I can certainly respect that as a business owner myself and an entrepreneur for the better part of a decade at this point. But what I can tell you is that just because you can run a business doesn't mean that you're really a business owner. Being a business owner is being able to take off the hat of actually going and doing the service or going and doing the job that you're known for doing and putting on the cap of the numbers person and understanding the back end of this business. If you don't understand the back end of this business and you just go out every day and kind of make your rounds, collecting a check here, doing a job there, and not really having an idea of where the numbers go, we're not going to be able to scale your business simply because you don't know how much it's going to cost to go and do a marketing push, to go and acquire a new customer. So that's why, folks, it's imperative that you really understand the back end numbers of your business so you can then appropriate certain amounts of money in order to grow the business further. So, as a quick review, your customer acquisition cost is going to be your top line item, all the items that you have to run your business. Then you're just going to divide that by how many customers you have. You can do this per month, you can do this per quarter, you can do this annually, or you can just do this for the whole year. Now, what I would strongly suggest is you do this on a month-to-month basis. Okay, the reason why you want to do this as a month-to-month basis is because if at the end of the month you're seeing that your cost per customer acquisition is skyrocketing, you have got to move in very, very quickly and start changing things around. In order to do that, you have got to keep updated on your numbers. So doing a customer acquisition cost analysis once per year, or if you've never done it in the beginning, it's not really going to be a great way to be able to lunge forward to grow that business. So now let's go ahead and talk about a couple of issues that people run into when they're coming up with this number. They just say, well, if I add up my marketing expenses, and then I divide that by how many customers I have, that'll give me my customer acquisition cost. Now, if it was that easy, then that would be fantastic, but it's not. You really have to dive deep into those numbers, and if you're doing it on a monthly basis, and let's say you're a solopreneur, you need to take your salary wage, whatever that may be. your fuel, your health insurance, whatever marketing you're doing, all that type of stuff. And you need to come up with a monthly overhead amount of money to run your business, and then divide that by how many customers you obtained that month. Okay. Don't just add in your marketing expenses. Don't just add in your mileage. You have to do the whole thing. Okay. So that's the first problem that we see. Now, when you look to improve that, because we always are looking to bring down the overhead and bring up the customers, right? When you're looking to improve the number, okay, there's two ways that you can do this, okay? The first thing is you can go out there and just run rampant and start cutting expenses. Okay, you definitely can do that as a small business owner. I would be very careful with that. Okay, because let's just say you have a small sales team. Okay, we work with a company in Atlanta. They're a carpet cleaning company. And they have 2 in-house salespeople. Okay, so they're on the phone smiling and dialing all day long. So if that company wanted to go and bring down their customer acquisition costs, they could certainly walk in there and either fire their sales team or take away their salaries or take this away or cut their commission or something like that. You could definitely do that. And that would bring down your customer acquisition cost. The next month, your company would probably be staring at the brink of bankruptcy because there's no new money coming in. Okay, so you do have to be very, very careful of what you do to cut the costs. So what I would always suggest is doing these two things in order to maximize maximize your customers and bring down the acquisition cost. Start looking at different channels, different free channels that you can advertise your business and you can make an impact in your community. I am going to tend to go on the side of social media. If you're not on social, if you just have a stagnant Facebook page or a stagnant Instagram account or something like that, and yeah, you have it up there and you're kind of checking your boxes, but you're not making it interactive. You're not posting on a regular basis, 3 to 5 times a week. You're not putting up engaging content. That may sound like a lot to do, but it really isn't that difficult. We help tons of businesses with that stuff at Home Leads. That is free. Okay, that is free, and that's going to create some type of engagement with your customers and with new customers to be able to acquire new ones through social media to be able to bring down then your customer acquisition cost. So I would look at that. I would also look at revamping your website, looking at your Google business profile, updating that, making sure it's optimized. Again, we can help you with that at Home Leads, but that's something that you can do for free, for no money at all, in order to increase customer interaction and decrease your customer acquisition cost. Another thing that I would look at is I would look at the avenues that you're already utilizing, okay, and seeing if you can maximize that. Okay, so I'll give you another example. We have a tree charmer in North Florida, okay, and they do really well with their marketing budget with the coupon packs that everybody gets in the mail. The envelopes with the coupon packs. They do really well with that. And they're also part of Better Business Bureau and kind of all these other things they're kind of just checking their boxes on. But if you're looking to bring down your cost per acquisition with a customer, then I would start looking at the items that you're already spending money on and really try to drive back to see if you're getting any customers from those at all. So if you're doing the marketing, or if you're doing the coupon packs, but you're not seeing anything, or you're doing the sponsorship, the Little League Baseball, outfield or something, then I would really start taking a step back and saying, am I even seeing anything off this? How can you track that? Well, again, at Home Leads, we're able to do it with tracking numbers and different things to see exactly where your money's coming from. But even on your own, you can usually figure out real fast if you're getting anything out of that. If you're not getting anything out of it, cut it and start looking at the other items that you are bringing money in from, bringing customers in, and entertain the idea of doubling down with that. Taking the money from this sponsorship or that sponsorship that you're not getting anything out of and putting it into something that you are getting something out of, or taking it out of the item that you're not getting anything out of and putting it back into your pocket, using it for a different, for maybe a better use in the company, whether it's a different truck, whether it's another employee, whether it's new uniform shirts, whatever you can come up with. But by being able to understand fully how much does it cost to acquire a customer, then being able to take that number and then figuring out how you can maximize what you're currently putting out to obtain customers. Remember, it's going and saying, all right, we could look at different avenues, the social media avenue, the Google avenue, et cetera, and then also taking a look at where you're spending your money and starting to maximize where those dollars are going and minimize where those dollars you're seeing no return on. So I hope that has been very beneficial for you. You have got to make sure that you understand what the number is, because if you don't know what your number is, then how are you ever going to know if you try a new marketing avenue, new website, new lead generation company, if those folks are ever even bringing you value to you? The answer is, without knowing that number, you won't. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy day and enjoying this. My name is Mark. You've been with Home Leads, and thank you so much for watching this. And as always, we'll see y'all on the next one.